Hello and welcome to BonkTable. Yeah. Cass has dragged me into the Animal Crossing fishing game. So.
Yeah, we're playing web fishing.
Oh, there you are. Your drip.
Talk
okay.
About. Yeah, look at my hat.
Fucking representing Manitoba. What does it say on there? I love something.
Yeah.
No,
read
spin around. Spin around. So I'm just pulling the camera.
Oh.
Oh God. Okay. we have really descended into anarchy. I feel like this is the BonkTable experience everyone wanted. Us fish. Are you smoking?
Oh yeah, blasting a cig at all times in this game.
Oh God. I feel like I'm driving a golf cart when I control this character. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hope you're recording the video for the.
Oh,
for
I
the
sure am.
Too.
So for the listeners, there's a video portion of this where we're fishing, and I've just started because Cass was like, "Play this game with me," and I said, "Okay."
I wanted him to have a little time a little R&R.
You want me to have fun instead of just blanket murder across whatever violent war game I'm playing at the time?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I'm gonna catch anything here.
You'll catch anything anywhere. That's the beauty of it. This game demands very little of you.
Oh, that's good. Thank you, game. Appreciate that.
You can even get hooks that make it so that you can catch ocean fish in the lakes and lake fish in the ocean.
Oh, okay.
They're just doing it.
Yeah. I'm fishing. I'm doing it. Oh my God. All right, I did it.
Fishing, baby.
Caught whatever this is.
And it even has the little Animal Crossing like dialogue where it's like,
yeah,
a stupid little pun about the fish.
What is it? Oh, it's a sea bass. I was hoping for a bee bass or something. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I think bridge fishing is my favorite little part because I always felt something romanticized about fishing off a bridge.
I get it. That makes sense to me. Oh. I like this little lake just because it's close by.
I should be fishing by you, but I'll head over there after.
I'm gonna come over to you. It's okay. I'm just finishing
we'll cross the streams.
Well, yeah. I want to come. I want you to have a good fishing experience. I'm gonna come to where you are.
Oh, okay. I was gonna come find you, but that's all right. You've ranked up. Nice job. All right, listeners. So if you just want to listen to this. We are talking about reinforcements. What was the thing we were going to talk about, but then we decided we needed to talk about Cassandra and the psychology of wargaming.
Yeah, before I opened up for the first and last time in my life.
Yeah, thank you for doing that, by the way. I do appreciate it. I hope you had a good time on that episode.
I really did, but, honestly now, because normally I'm very emotionally distant, and now having tried being open and honest, I don't find that I have a taste for it. So
that's fair.
I think we're gonna stay the course.
Okay, you hold.
This is a trash
and then
fish.
You mash. Yeah, you mash. Okay. Well, this is really the exciting gameplay everyone wanted us to talk over.
Well, I mean, that's what I like about it is it's just kind of chill, and it's relaxing because I think life is pretty hectic these days, Everybody's got a lot going on. Sometimes you just gotta do a little angling.
Yeah, this is actually kind of fun. I love how we've just devolved into this. It's like, oh yeah, this is nice.
Mm-hmm. That's the world we live in. But yeah,
reinforcements? Should we even talk about
fishing for reinforcements?
Yeah. So well, here's the problem. I'm so enamored because it's the first time I played this game. I don't even know what to do anymore because I'm like, oh, I gotta fish good. Because failing to fish in such an easy game and talk about something is gonna be really difficult. But it's not like I have the muscle memory in this game yet, so I gotta focus on the easy ass game.
That's fair. There's something we have to talk about before we get into that I'm gonna get a good fish. There's something we have to talk about before we get into it. So there's now I forgot the bit that I got too distracted by the fish.
Yeah,
it was just a glistening huge leech.
Oh, look, I'm ranked 2 now. Sweet.
Hell yeah. No, I don't remember the bit. The only thing is, so somebody, fuck, no, never mind. I can't formulate a coherent joke out of this that won't just make me sound weird, so.
We already know. You made me play the Animal Crossing fishing game, so we already know that. It's fine.
That's true. That's true.
So just say the joke.
Well, I mean, there's not even... You sounded so annoyed.
Tell me the joke, Cassandra. What's the joke?
No, it's just a weird thing that, well, the joke has left. Like there was a bit that I had for just a second, but then it left. But somebody who I follow on my personal Twitter account, but who doesn't follow me back,
okay,
has started following my BonkTable Twitter account.
Oh no.
Which is great, because I mean, I would love for more people who are a part of my community to listen to this, and not just war gamers. But it's such a weird thing where it's just like, oh, I'm not cool enough to know this person, like on my main, but on my 11 follower fucking
what war game
podcast, yeah, Twitter account, I'm notable enough, or not even notable, but just, I guess, cool enough for this person to know. But anyway, I'm glad that we're mutuals in some capacity.
Yeah, I have to go get more bait.
Yeah. Okay. So to the person that I'm referring to, my hat's off to you.
Yeah.
You can get a tackle box that lets you get more bait.
Oh, I have. Is that B? Yes, but I have no bait in it. Okay, cool. Oh, my weird golf cart character. So
that's that. It's that made with Godot controls.
Okay, wait, we're not even talking. I'm mostly just like having fun in this game. I'm just like what around.
See, I didn't even intend to do that. That's just how they get you.
Yeah, obviously.
Everyone's gonna hate this.
I get better. Frogman, talk to me.
Oh, yeah, the big frogman.
Big frogman.
That's how you do it.
Better. Oh, and lures. The fly hook.
So reinforcements. I mean, we can stop the game if this is just not, if it's too distracting.
Well, because I'm doing it all.
It would be the opposite, is the thing, where we would just kind of just hang out and fish while we talked about it. But
all right. I understand the basics now. I can get on with this. Thank you for spending. There's a timer on this thing, isn't there? Oh, first 8 minutes. There we go. 8 minutes of BonkTable greatness. Now
but you know what though? If we get down to business right now, that's the least amount of fucking around that we've ever done at the beginning of an episode. So
it really is.
That'll be some kind of record.
I'm just running around. Okay, so reinforcements. What do we like? What do we want to say about reinforcements? That's the other issue. Because right, like my issues with reinforcements are some factions have access to a lot of flank, what allows them to have stuff on the table really easily, while other factions don't, and it shows. Like it shows that, wow, I caught some tiny ass fish.
It happens,
and it's like, how do I say this? It's kind of causing problems on how what you can do with your lists and some factions and what they're capable of doing. I'm currently finding. So one of my example is Dweghome. Dweghome before the Worlds update had no Vanguard and no flank. So you had to hard roll all your stuff in, and if you just rolled poorly, you were kind of fucked, and there was really nothing you could do. And it also showed in Worlds, like, with Carl, he got, he got screwed over in round 1, where he, like, didn't roll anything on until, like, turn 4, what caused a bunch of problems for his game plan, and that's, so here's the thing, I get it, because remember, I did that talk with Leo, like, a year ago, and he's like, reinforcements is how he wants the game. He wants to, like, simulate the chaos of of a battlefield, and you don't know when guys are going to show up. But then you add in a ton of flank, and that really allows a lot of things to come on when you want it. Like in City States, and why City States is kind of getting a lot of stock right now, besides a bunch of other upgrades and stuff, is that they have flank on two very powerful regiments that Lost City States players want to take. The Chariots and the Talos. And the Chariots did go from like 3 Chariots per 1 slot down to 2 Chariots, what does help and reduce like Chariots and slots, and you got to play around with the Warband a little bit now in the army list. But you can probably still get like 2 or 3 to 4 Chariots if you really wanted to. Not that hard. But yeah, I was noticing with flank that there wasn't a lot of not options. Some factions had more options than others. And then it gets into like light scoring and how light score. Because right now I'm playing a list what I've dubbed the Frenzied Flame ending, which 4 Flame Berserkers using a Hold Ray Warlord to like make all the light score. And you're very fast up the field, and you get to the like over the midline turn 2, and you can start putting pressure on your opponent while you score. So that's been really effective. But
yeah,
it's still like, what happens if you roll badly? What are you kind of supposed to do? And that's kind of what I'm like. I had the same issues happen to me at Michigan GT where I didn't get any of my lights on till turn 3, and I didn't have my Dwag Fortress up because I was just not getting my lights, and you need those lights to be up there to keep the Dwag safe, and it was just really shitty.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to talk about that. I fell, and it's like am I stuck in a hole, or do I have broken legs? He is turned into a worm.
Oh yeah, you just fall on your...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just jump back up because you're on your tummy.
I just started running around and being like, So yeah, that's...
Yeah, so I mean, if we had done this episode before the changes, I would have said that my one thought on reinforcements is you just use everything in your faction that you have to ignore them and get all your guys out on the first turn that they're able to, and
you'll be in a good spot.
Yeah. But now I feel like at least it has shifted to an extent where there's a little more... Hold on.
Oh, he's gone.
Excuse me, I had to cough. A little more nuance in terms of just like when it makes... There's more cases to hold stuff back now, I think, than there were.
I don't know. So here's the thing. Oh, okay, I drowned.
That's it.
I still think that being out quickly and establishing board presence is very strong. Like, that's why Nords was so good, is because they could get their stuff out really quickly, establish their board presence, and then push that to win. Like, it makes it really difficult for your opponent if you have all your stuff on the table and you're in position to just kind of like pick them apart, and you have all the good spots positioning wise to keep your opponent away from you.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of like, I guess scoring lights are so good because you can score with them, and that's why like Nords was doing really well.
Yeah. Well, it's in terms of like the availability of flank and other abilities that get you on the board faster or easier, and the uneven access to them that factions have, like that's one of those things that in on paper seems like cool and fun. But I think when you're trying to play the game like seriously, quote unquote, that's where you start to run into the like, oh, the randomness of this is not actually as appealing as it would seem as an idea. Because a lot of the time, if your list is well tuned and your strategy is developed, and then you get just rat fucked because you didn't roll a 2 at the right time.
Is that what we're calling it? You get rat fucked when all your reinforcement rolls don't show up. I
call lots of stuff getting rat fucked, but yeah, we can call that too.
Well, I started calling it the Rolo curse. That's
much nicer sounding than rat fucked, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Well, because Rolo like at Worlds got didn't get his reinforcements on for like 2 games straight, and he was like, "Well, I kind of lose," and that's the issue. Like, if your opponent gets 5 mediums on turn 2 with like 3 lights, and you only have 3 regiments, you're in a behind position.
Yeah.
The things that are on the table have to play super cagey. You have to give up a lot of space, because if you just run forward, you're just going to die and achieve nothing, because your opponent's going to mob you. So at that point, you got to just sit at the back edge of your table waiting for more stuff to show up, and then go from there. So, but then it puts you behind on storing, because your opponent takes up a ton of board space once they realize that, and they take advantage of it. And it's not hard to see, because it's like, how many cards in your deck? Well, I have 3. How many cards in your deck? 8. You're like, oh, okay. I guess I get to do whatever I want.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been there many a time.
Yeah, it really sucks.
It it definitely when that's the reason things went to shit for you, it's never a good feeling.
Well, because you don't feel you have control over anything at that point. Like,
yeah. But counterpoint.
Yeah.
Since the
update that we spent 4 hours on.
Yeah. Whew, what a marathon. So the thing about it is, though, reinforcements are really, like, I do like the coming in from the table edge and everything, and I think if you're just doing that with X amount of units every turn, like, if you just did that with all the regiments that you had of a specific weight, then I don't know that it would be as... Well, I guess, I don't know, it's hard to say, like, because when you start to, like, talk about, or at least when I start to talk about the flaws of these kinds of systems, like, I start to try to just map out in my head what potential solutions, or at least what attempts at solutions might look like. And, I whiffed a cast because of this. Hope you're happy.
You're welcome.
It's fine. So the, like, the problem is, like, how do you change that to address that issue without changing sort of fundamentally what reinforcements is and how it sort of
how the game is developed with that, because like I remember the Nords lists. It was like, okay, these characters have forward force. They're with bow chosen. The stalkers have van or flank, so they come on. So it's like, all right, and then these one guy you auto in. So it's like, okay, you have all your lights on. They have characters. They can score. Cool. Next turn. This has a character that has forward force. It comes on. This comes on. This comes on. You roll this. Okay, those all come on. And you're like, oh, so I basically only roll for one thing on turn 2, and it's either going to come on turn 2 or turn 3, and you're kind of like, like, you're just getting all your stuff. It's not bad, but it's just, that's one faction with that ability, and it makes it very powerful, because you know when stuff is coming on. You never have to worry about it, and it has the consistency you're looking for. So, and taking out randomness as a player is kind of your goal, or to control the randomness while the game has randomness in it, to make it so that not everything is the same.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Well, so I think that's I guess that's the tension point that I guess is what is making this so difficult to solve, is like so much of what makes this game is defined by like what units can score and reinforcements. So even though they are, I mean, I have complaints about both. If I'm perfectly honest, but well, then it starts to make me think, like, I don't know. What is the balance that you can fix change reinforcements in a way that makes it more of a feels okay without annihilating it, I guess. But and it's also just like the problem also, as well, is just from a design standpoint, is like the idea that some regiments or some armies, that is to say, have an easier time getting on the board than others is like a design space that you would move towards very intuitively. And in theory, like it seems like it would make sense for this kind of game, but just because reinforcement is so critical, you can't really fuck around with it.
No.
You know?
Yeah. Like it's a major aspect of the game, and it's going to be in every game, and it's going to be so like how. So ways to control it. So I feel like there's a couple ways to control it. You find regiments in your faction that have flank. You find regiments in your faction that have vanguard, and you find regiments in your faction that are just fast. So and those I feel like are kind of different ways to control it. Because with vanguard, even if you're coming on a turn later, you're zipping up to be still in a relative position to still contribute to the board state and the match, and you're not just like stuck way in the back for like additional turns.
Yeah.
And then if you're just fast, like if you're speed 7 or above, you're just fast. You shoot up the table. It's like the same thing, but just in the movement stat itself. What allows you just to get relevant, like into a relevant spot, like Hunting Pack. I think I played a game where Hunting Pack came on turn 3, and it was like, oh, okay, you're just halfway up the table already. Cool. Guess you're going to be relevant turn 4.
Yeah, I would use my.
Like, if it was Braves, they'd be back on, like, the 10 or 11 inch line, and I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I'll see you in, like, 2 to 3 turns. You're saying, though?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, even in every iteration of the game where I was running hunting packs, when I'd play with Drune, I would always use my auto-in reinforcement because I had so much other flank in that faction at the time. We'd use my auto-in reinforcement to delay the hunting pack and then just like vanguard that MF wherever it needs to be. Yeah, exactly. And I think everybody who's played me has experienced where it just like I would just fire it into the worst position possible because you can put it like a vanguard high movement regiment. It's going to pretty much go wherever you need it to. So yeah, but so that's the other thing is like I think the game needs to decide whether lights can score or not. Because right now I think that's another one where it's like
some factions have light scoring and some don't.
Yeah, and in theory you'd think like, oh, this is another thing that again like gives the game texture and creates design space, but in practice it's just like, well, if someone has it, you need it. Like
because it puts that aggression on the table.
Yeah.
Like this could also be like table aggression as well and tempo because because this stuff kind of leads to like what do I want to say, like aggressive lists as well. You were drawn on the area, weren't you? I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah,
I really don't care.
You just go by chalk from this thought.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, I'm not. Oh, pardon me. I'm just stretching out and thinking. What do I want to say about that? I've totally lost it. I started buying stuff. I started reading and talking at the same time. It totally messed me up.
We're web fishing, baby.
Yeah. This game's gonna fuck us. I'm just buying random crap now. I'm just like, I don't even know what this stuff does. Cool.
You can get a metal detector and then you can go look for
stuff okay. Well, I spent a bunch of money on other things, so guess I gotta go get more money. Anyway, I totally forgot the part we were talking about, but aggression.
Light scoring.
Yeah, light scoring.
And aggression.
And aggression. Yeah, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I totally drew a blank there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so factions that still have it. I believe Nord still has it because the captain is now 10 points and there are lights. The Raiders. Raiders are very good for Nords, by the way. If you're not playing Raiders, you really should be. Yeah. The Dwagholm, either with the Ardent Kurawa casting the score spell or the Hold Ray, making everyone have +2 scoring stands. on their command stand and characters is really good. 100k doesn't have it. Spires does with the Biomancer Warlord to make the, like, you can make them, I think, mediums or heavies or something when something's on in a zone. So like Strix just fly in a zone and then you activate that Biomancy and they can score then.
Yeah.
That's really good. And Spires has it. 100k doesn't, but they try and make up for it with their turn 2 knights, like Household Knights and Sealed Temple, just being fast to get onto those zones for turn 2 to keep up that scoring. But sometimes it's tough, especially if you don't build a list for it. Oh, okay, I just hit a mushroom. There's kind of that. Did Wadroon lose its light scoring? I feel like it did.
They seem to have.
I don't think they have it even with the rework. Nord's kept it. Old Dominion never had it. They just had cheap mediums. They didn't. Yeah, no, because they had that Blasphemous Sona and they lost that. So now their reinforcements are back to regular. Everyone else. They kind of lost it. What am I looking at? Nord's, Dweghelm, and Spires? Who else? City States. You got the Chariots auto-inning and shooting up the table. You can kind of get away with it there. So they have a pseudo scoring. And then same thing, like kind of like 100k does. Oh no, they have the banner and the lights. They can do that. They can do the artifact, but makes a regiment score and put in the lights. So they have light scoring. City States has light scoring. Nords. Swag. Sorcerer Kings have light? No, Sorcerer Kings scoring. Yeah, you found a coin bag as well. I don't know what that does. I don't care. So yeah, it becomes tougher to play in those factions that have access to flank and light scoring because they're just scoring up their way. Like I had a game on, what is it? Sunday? So yesterday, where I just had Flame Berserkers who could score, and I was just like running up the table in Forlorn Hope, and just kind of being like, all right, I take your objectives, and I'm going to charge you next turn if you come at me.
Yeah.
So have fun. So I put pressure on and I could score, so I was just up. And I was rolling pretty average for reinforcements. Nothing like crazy was happening. I think turn 3 I only got one thing on, and I had like 2 mediums and a heavy just still sitting in reserve by turn 3. But then it didn't matter because the 2 mediums were hold warriors who had vanguard, so they just shot up the table, got onto score, and I was like, I'm fine with that. Yeah, it's kind of a whole thing with reinforcements where it's just like, can you mitigate it? And then comes the question, like, what do you do when your dice don't want to cooperate? What happens when you roll 6s and only 6s? What happens when you play Warhammer?
Well, I mean, I saw you whip those dice in the garbage and buy new ones, so that's one solution.
No, those weren't for reinforcement. Those are because I couldn't cast any goddamn spells. I needed like 2 successes and and even with Devout and Focus, just couldn't get it. It was so fucking annoying. I was so pissed off. But yeah, you buy new dice.
Yeah.
Okay, but actual table play, what would you do if you don't get... You only get your auto in, and you have no Vanguard, no flank, or like no Vanguard on anything. Like, what are you doing?
Generally speaking, holding back and hoping that things get a little better on the next turn.
Oh, I drowned myself. Yeah, I agree with you there. It's kind of...
Like, unless you have something that you can, like, do, then that's all you can do.
And that kind of sucks because it doesn't allow you to get on the table or do anything or contest your opponent at all.
Yeah.
That's what I've been noticing. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Like, because
it's also really hard to come back from, to be honest. Like, really, really difficult.
Yeah, it definitely. Well, I mean, there was that one game that we played where it was you just played the crossbow spam.
Oh yeah.
And then you got all of your reinforcements.
I got the god roll on turn 1 and all the merc crossbows ran on the table. Yeah.
And that was really like that genuinely like, especially if you're able to set up a gun line really easily, then that can be tough to get by. Because I mean, I wasn't running anything in that game that had loose formation, so I was taking those hits, but
yeah, it's
yeah.
like
You gotta just.
I think that entire list is light. That's the worst part. Like what did I do and where do I go?
Yeah.
I have crickets. This is not a bad game, by the way.
No, it's very enjoyable.
I don't know, like. So something I want to do is I want to start practicing for if I fail all my reinforcement rolls, because there are going to be games like that, and you kind of need to actually have the practice of losing all your reinforcement rolls to know what to do. Because I feel, okay, if I had the practice of knowing what to do if I failed all my reinforcement rolls, it would have been better, because then I wouldn't be scrambling to figure out what to do. I would actually have kind of a plan. And that's what I noticed. So I feel like something you as a player can do is just play some games and just be like, yeah, I failed the reinforcement rolls. I only get my 1 auto in.
Yeah.
And then what do I do? Actually, I'd have to check this. We're playing this game, so I'm not going to. When you declare your auto in, do you decide then if it's going to be coming in or holding back, and then you roll the dice and see how many dice you get? Because you could, yeah. So do you declare it before you roll the dice or after you roll the dice?
I'm pretty sure it's before you roll the dice, because that would affect your die pool.
Yeah, it's true. But do you declare like this is my auto in? But then do you declare if it's auto inning or holding at that point, then roll the dice, or do you decide after you know everything that's coming in if you're going to hold that?
I don't know what the rules are, but I've been playing it like you declare whether they're coming in or holding back when you declare which one your auto in is.
Yeah, so have I. Buddy isn't yours. Oh, thanks, game.
My buddy.
I don't know how to punch people.
You have to get the punching glove.
Oh, okay, cool. I guess what I need now know what to buy. I'll punch you. I have to invoke harassment.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is that really it for reinforcement? We just complained for half an hour? Like, I feel like that's not much.
Yeah, I really thought that there was going to be more to this than that, honestly.
It's just complaining and like
just bitching.
Yeah, and because like there's not much you can do if things go bad. It's just hold back, wait it out, give up board space, and kind of just wait for more shit to show up, and then push out and try and take the game to turn 10. Like, don't, because I know a lot of people will play the game and it'll end on like 6 or 7. But it's like, you got 10 turns, use them.
Yeah. I know, it's weird, because definitely there was a time when the North American meta was just like flank.
Well, I think it still is. Like, there's still a bunch of flank and a bunch of factions. It's just, and there's still good things. Like the Talos and Chariots are good, and they have flanks, so they're coming in on those turns and are going to be doing very well. But other factions that don't have it, you're kind of in a catch-22 of trying to find something that's speedy or has Vanguard to come in and keep you up on points and deal with that early aggression and your opponent being in a better board position than you, because they were just had all their stuff on and could kind of zone you out. So it's kind of just difficult to play.
It can be, but I think sometimes by strategically holding things back, I don't know how much this really applies to like high level play, but I think when you're playing just a regular ass game of Conquest, like reserving regiments, not by a huge degree, but enough to counter deploy is probably
but
something to consider. But
I feel if you're counter deploying, your board state is developed enough, and you're counter deploying a specific thing that's needed to kill a regiment. Like you're bringing in, I don't know, let's say, Incarnate Sentinels versus Ashen Dawn or something. You're counter deploying each other, so that one side doesn't run wild, and you can kind of deal with them because you have that tool available. Or you're bring in your Leonin Avatara that have the deadly blades and the deadly shot and the AP2 to like rip through Ashen Dawn. Like that's kind of more of a counter. But also Leonin Avatar are fast and fluid enough that they can just go wherever they want, so they can just kind of reposition themselves pretty easily.
Yeah.
Look, there's a day-night cycle in this game and it's raining. Lovely.
Yep. So I don't know. It's because I mean, if you take it out, it's just Warhammer, you know.
Yeah.
Even if you're marching your guys on at the beginning of the turn, it's still just like I don't know what the balance has to be. I don't know. Maybe if it's
like so
just giving the like taking well, not taking flank out entirely, but maybe changing the amount of auto in number that each faction gets per turn. But then that's like a floating rule, so I don't know if that's necessarily.
Like,
then I'm just trying to think outside of the box here.
Yeah, but then you kind of get into like being a developer, and I don't really want to be a developer. It sounds like a terrible.
No, I really don't. Like, I don't. I definitely don't want to make games. It's just, but it is interesting to think.
Okay,
ways that you can do it without getting into it. But like, I don't know, because then at that point, like, it's just like you're still just flank maxing, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know what the balance is.
So something they could do is that they remove flank and like or reduce flank a lot more and replace it with like Vanguard. Because then you're still rolling for it, but when it does come on, it can get into position and be relevant or like easier or in a better spot or whatever you want to call it. Like it can become relevant faster and get into a good board spice. And you're not wasting an additional turn for this thing moving up the table as things are dying, and it can get into a position to actually fight back.
Yeah.
The other option is you can have like a minimum I guess another option is you can have a minimum reinforcement line. So like, you know how we deploy off the back edge, but like you could also have like, I don't know, if you push your furthest unit up, you can then employ an extra like 5 additional inches. So instead of being off the back edge, you're now running up from 5 or 6 inches off the table edge on top of your movement. So so it helps regiments that don't have Vanguard that are coming out super late. Or you could just have it on like turn 5 or, you know, things get Vanguard or something like that just so they can shoot up on the table and also not be heavy. But then mediums auto come in on 4, so like fuck it.
Yeah.
So it's just
or even maybe things. Just tightening like maybe making it so each weight class is one turn where they roll off and then one turn where they auto in.
So they don't they roll off, so like mediums roll off on 2 and auto on 3. So you have a reduced.
So you have a chance to get an advantage, but you're not just as we determined was a technical term, rat fucked.
You're not Rolo cursed, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that helped mediums. Like if you had a bunch of not mediums, heavies. So like a bunch of heavies would show up on 4. I have no beta test.
Because that's the other thing is right now you're not really incentivized to bring a lot of heavies just because
because
if you don't have a guaranteed way of getting them on the board, they become kind of a gamble.
Yeah, because turn 5 is too late for the heavies. Like they have 4 turns of active use because turn 5 is going to march on, and then you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So having 4 turns of active use, you better be pushing those heavies to the absolute extreme and getting into fights every single turn. And there's times where people just like run away. They're like, fuck that, I'm just going to make this worthless. I'm out.
Yeah.
It's kind of my issue. Like I don't know if there's a solution because it is a fundamental part of the game and how it fundamentally works. So changing it fundamentally changes the game. Because the other,
Fundamentally.
yeah, because there's like an option where you don't roll dice anymore. Lights just come on one. All lights on one. All lights on, or all mediums on two. All heavies on three. But then at that point, you just run an all heavy list. Like you take the bare minimum of lights and mediums, and then you just get all your cool shit, what are tend to be heavies, and you're fine.
Yeah.
It's also one of the reasons why like the Imperial Officer's Vanguard was so good because you just had all your shit just ship the table on turn 3.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
So there's a balance there, but I don't know what it is. But at the same time, like it does feel crazy when you just get
Rat fucked.
like when you just don't get anything. Yeah. Exactly.
So I don't know how. So Parabellum has been trying to reduce the rat fucking through additions. So I know in 1.5 you had to roll for everything, and I was pretty sure there was a game where you and I played and we rolled and we didn't get anything on 1 and we didn't get anything on 2, and we finally got our lights in on 3, and I don't think we got our mediums in on like 3 or heavies in at 3 at all. And it was just like, this is great. I love this game, and this used to be worse in previous editions
with no auto ins. Yeah,
it
I was
used
just
to be
thinking about that.
way worse. And so I'm glad there's the auto in, but there's a bit of me that's like, if your opponent has 5 more cards than you, get a second auto in so that you're not getting completely assed.
Mm-hmm.
Like after all the dice are rolled and you count up, you can be like, oh, your opponent has 10 cards to your 4. Maybe you should get another card. Like you could do that. Oh, I caught a turtle. Guess what? I'm gonna sell you for money later.
You should what they should do is okay, I figured out the convoluted system is you take
okay.
well no, it's already doesn't work. I already figured out flaws in it in my head.
No, tell us the convoluted system.
It's gonna be annoying.
Then tell us the flaws.
So what you would do is you'd take the total number of cards that haven't deployed yet, and then you would roll a d6.
Oh god.
And the difference between those two numbers is how many regiments you get to bring in.
Oh god.
That's like an old Hammer style.
Is that something that actually happened in Old Hammer?
No, not at all. But that just feels like the kind of like crazy, goofy ass shit that they were always trying to do back in the 80s and 90s with tabletop war games.
They really did. I always find it funny reading about players who have played way back then, and they're like, "This isn't the same game. There was all this nuance to it, and they took it out." I'm like, "Yeah, probably because the nuance was annoying as all fuck."
Well, to an extent, like
it adds flavor to the game. Don't get me wrong.
I think, like, it's when you get into like another example, sort of is Warhammer, the Old World, and it's so there's just loads of rules in that game, and some of them are very flavorful, but they're almost completely useless, or they're so insanely overpowered that it's like a joke.
You have to bring this.
Yeah, that's the trouble with flavorful rules, is they kind of, once you start, like, fun and flavorful is fine if that's the only way you're looking at it, but as soon as you apply analysis to the game system, you start to see like, oh well, this is efficient, and now all of a sudden things that just seemed like flavorful and cool are now huge problems that are fucking the game up. So it's that's like, I do think that if you're gonna make a game and have people play it competitively, like, you ultimately need to err on the side of non-randomness overall.
Yeah, but then it's like,
but then it's just rote. Yeah.
Like, so I come here to play this game because I want to play with my fucked up minis that I've painted, and
we're not painted, as the case may be.
Yeah, I actually ripped off the head of an ironclad Drake by accident yesterday. I was like picking him up because I glued them all together, and his head just popped off. I'm like, well, cool, get in the bag.
Yeah, I thought it was because he had failed you.
Well, he killed a Force drone block, and then killed a Leon Avatara block, and then got shot to death. So he did more work than the painted one.
Well, Hey,
The other one,
that's
what did he
something.
do? He killed an ejector marker and then got shot in the face until he died. So there was something there. Okay, this game isn't too bad.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. These. Just give me a D's nuts joke on this stupid fucking fish.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm wearing a hat that says "I heart peeing."
Did you customize that hat, or is that supposed
No,
actually?
that just comes in the game.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Base
Yeah.
game, baby.
I
And so,
okay.
I mean, sorry, I
No,
just
go
thought
ahead.
of. So that to me identifies like that's part of the triad of three problems that this game can't seem to solve, and we've touched on two of them,
Okay, what so
which is reinforcements,
yeah.
whether or not lights can score,
Yeah.
and the third one is dueling.
Oh fuck,
Who
you're right. They still haven't fixed
who's doing it? Why are you doing it? Where are you doing it? What's the deal?
this sounds like a sex club. And it's
um,
like and you want in.
like, and I think about that one. I think about a lot because it's like right now there's still like they've made it marginally more relevant in that there's a punishment that sort of matters for declining a duel. But generally, like there are a lot of cases where you can just let them die in the duel if that's what it comes down to, or take their 3 wounds and hang on with 1 wound left. Because once you deal with it, that's really annoying.
All right, so OBS decided to be bad. I don't know why it's doing this. It's kind of happened a couple times now, and I don't know why. We're just gonna pick up from here. Last thing you guys heard was talked about dueling, and then how and like dueling reworks to make it better, and there was a whole actual good conversation about that, and it basically summed up to use a different game's dueling system where when regiments clash, the characters focus on each other first. So the Hold Ray would fight the Biomancer first before fighting the rest of the regiment. And if the Biomancer declined, then you could have like the broken status on the Force Grown drones. Then the clash would go from the, let's say, the Hold Warriors, and then the Biomancer's unit with like the Force Grown drone unit would be suffering the broken penalties. Then you can draw the character and then duel again, and that's a way to like duel out characters. So it adds a bit more to dueling because Cass and I were talking about how there's like the three core parts of the game that Parabellum is having trouble fixing. What dueling, reinforcements, and what was the third?
Whether lights can score or not.
Yeah, where the lights and no score. So like, kind of annoyed because OBS is just being a dick. And fuck you. But then Cass asked me, if okay, let's see if that holds. My God. Then Cass asked me if like what I thought about the update. Oh, it was a lesbian title. That's cool. Wow. Wow. Okay. Now I understand why you're telling. Now I understand. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So anyway, Cass is telling me about or asking me about what I think about the changes of the world. So I started with Dweg. I think Dweg is still kind of stuck where it's at. It still has the same problems of you're either playing fast Dweg or you are either playing what is it? Tempered. That's it. So yeah, I don't. Okay, I just have a large. There's that. For a little bit more detail, like you guys got to understand. Like I just restarted the recording. I'm just kind of a little annoyed that stuff was missed. I'm just sad, pissed off and sad at OBS. I don't
It
know
was
why.
great.
It was actually good, and I'm just annoyed.
5-star material.
Yeah, I was like, man, we're sucking right now, and then it was like, this is great, and now it's like, fuck. So anyway, Dweg Home is still playing. You're either doing Tempered Sorcerer Castle Dweg, or you're doing Steel Shaper Castle Dweg, and then you're either doing Hold Ray Fast Dweg, or you're doing Ardent Kirawa Fast Dweg. That's it. It's basically the same thing. There's nothing interesting going on there except for that. I played a bunch for 100k wise. I played 2 games. I Sadly, OBS messed up there for one of the two games and it didn't record properly. So, the 100k list, like I like the new Hunter cadre being mediums with flank, really helps out that whole stick. And then it also diversifies the shooting in 100k a bit because previously all of 100k shooting was literally the same and there's no reason not to take the best option with crossbows. Even then, at range 16, where crossbows are still very good, but Hunter Cadre are kind of taking that position. The only problem is that they're super expensive for what they're doing.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, Ashen Dawn. Ashen Dawn got triple nerfed, and I'm still not super excited about that. We know there's a rework coming in January, and it was like, why don't you just nerf them when the rework happens so that people are excited to play with all the new toys? And Ashen Dawn are not getting stabbed in the face for their crimes against humanity, because really their whole thing was like players were just poorly interacting with Ashen Dawn, and I kept telling you guys to be like, shoot them, use magic, get two things on them at the same time. Don't let Ashen Dawn charge and clash one thing at a time. It is a bad spot. Like that's what you want to do, and they got nerfed because players didn't want to handle them. I'm blaming them. I'm blaming the player base. What else is going on? Played into Wadroon. New Wadroon, you kind of have to focus down a cult for your army, is what I've noticed. If you spread it, you're not getting the same level of like chanting you were before. The new chants, I don't mind them because they're overall not as exciting as the old chants were, like especially with Tier 3 and Fanatic. Like, I'm glad that the chanting system has been cleared up and is easier to use. And also you can, like, save the chants. It's the regimental chants that are actually really good on each of the regiments. Like, the regiment-specific ones. Those ones are where you're kind of drawing a lot of your power from, especially with the different chosen. So, that's what you want. And then having the little extra bit of power from the actual cult chants, just kind of nice and nothing, not too crazy. So yeah, that's where I'm kind of at with them. And then Spires, literally Spires has not changed. The Biomaster Warlord got better, but Spires, whole play style, everything it does, it's fine. Those are like the 4 games I've played since the updates rolled out. And like, I don't know, it's fine. I gotta play into Nords at some point. I've been hearing that Raiders are really, really good right now because they have like built-in base tenacious, so it keeps them alive a little longer. What's good?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some factions I still gotta play, but overall, I think the update was actually like good. It was really solid and good, and something that needed to happen in the game. A lot of the cleanup for the core rules was really nice. Oh, shooting and how the shooting changes. You measure the distance from the middle of the stand to a point that you're like shooting at. So you're actually losing range if you're trying to like bank shots and stuff. Because now you don't measure from stand to stand, you measure from the middle, the same place you draw line of sight. Cass, you there? Are you hiding on me?
Oh, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. I was just so like range has been kind of hurt in a couple ways. Like stuff is still losing range. Like a lot of regiments are like our crossbows run from 16 or 18 to 16 and all that. But also with the changes to how the shooting works, measuring from the center of the stand, you'll find a lot of times that you'll have like 2 stands in and 1 stand out, and you'll have to move some more. What makes it really annoying? So you kind of have to like get straight on with your opponent. What reduces the distance your opponent actually has to charge into you to get to you with a melee regiment. So it actually boosts melee regiments.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on there.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in and of itself, truthfully.
No, because even if you're not doing resolve damage, not being attacked at all is better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was briefly, I think, a period of time where ranged was overemphasized, so I don't think, like, and then the other thing is, the reality of war games, I find, is just that like you see the data sheet on paper and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna get this many attacks, this strength, and blah blah blah. But then the reality is, almost from the first time any two regiments make any kind of contact with each other, like those numbers are going to start to reduce. So I think just making it so that you're by default getting fewer shots in on ranged, I don't know. It's I feel like that's a balancing thing in and of itself, kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes it. I don't know. It kind of makes it so that like the melee regiments have a chance. Because if you ever notice in like actual history, we have been pulling away more and more from melee combat. Like,
Well, yeah.
because it's dangerous. You could
Yeah,
die.
exactly.
While like a bow is, you can just shoot the guy before he gets to you. Sweet, you don't have to worry about him. Oh, if I shoot him with a gun,
Exactly.
what's even further away? Sweet. Oh, I hit him with artillery. Sweet. If I like, all that stuff. I don't know what the
Yeah.
first. Yeah. Okay. So there's all that. So yeah, it kind of makes the melee stuff easier to use and more relevant because there's more melee regiments than there are. What the fuck is this? It's like a dog. There's more melee regiments than range regiments, and you kind of want those melee regiments to be capable, not just shot off the board before they even get there. You
Yeah.
caught a small unidentified fish object. What the
Oh, you got
fuck?
the UFO fish. Nice.
I might just pause this in the aquarium.
Damn.
I don't even know how this works. Just I don't even know how any of this stuff works. So yeah, held object is not a valid fish. I have to insert the. All right, the weird things in the aquarium. Have fun.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I don't even live here. Is this your world? Like, do you own this place?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Cool.
So thank you for the fish.
All right. Yeah, that's kind of my games and my thoughts on like the update. I think it was needed. A lot of the cleanup in the core rule was really good. The classifying the pivot back so that charges actually work was much needed.
Yeah.
Because like someone was obviously going to try something, and it's like, well, charges fundamentally don't work anymore, and you can't do anything about it. I also like how they updated the diagrams. That was also really needed.
Yeah, it definitely was.
I don't know. It's kind of my thoughts. I'm still pissed off that lost bits of recording, so the listeners will just have to deal with that.
That's fair. This is kind of
A chill and fish kind of one after our 4 hour menagerie
tour
of
de force.
nonsense.
Yeah.
What do you think of the update?
I mean, I've played half a game since it came out, so I don't know if I necessarily have the best basis to have a strong opinion one way or the other. But overall, I think everything that we looked at in the rules and stuff is generally speaking better. I mean, Wadroon seemed to be in a complicated place, but I just haven't really looked into it one way or the other. I'm just going by the way the discourse online is going. But Nord's one
Oh,
crazy style.
they're good. Like they're
Yeah.
incredibly good. Well, are you?
And they were good before the update, and then the update was just a buff.
Yeah. Like Nord's got their cake and ate it too. I get over it. Oh, I can get to the lighthouse. Okay, cool. Kind of fun to run around in this whole place.
Yeah, it's. I wish it was bigger, but I like it.
Okay, let's see where it's going.
Mm.
Doing the jumping puzzle. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, now I'm just fucking around. Yeah, it's good. Nord's also, yeah, I feel like they kind of came out really well. City States gained a lot of power on top of some of their stuff changing around, and also the addition of the Sacred Band.
Yeah.
That helped them a lot. Also, Phalangites getting a buff. They are... I think if you look at them, points-wise, they're actually better than Hoplites currently. I drowned myself. It's kind of surprising because they got I believe they got additional clash and like point reduction or more. They got clash and attacks. They're actually outputting more with Phalangites than you are with Hoplites, and you're kind of gonna do fine because you have the Phalanx roll. It's gonna give you +1 resolve.
Yes.
From the front, so that's gonna be also good on you. You don't have to worry about that. You feel an otherworldly force beckon you. I don't even know what that means. Already carrying the stone. I've drowned myself.
Oh, you found one of the
Found a spine.
Yeah, there's 4 other pieces of skeleton that you can find, and then you have to go behind the waterfall, and you can trade it in and get a spectral fishing pole.
Oh, I guess I'm doing that now.
Yeah. It's the one I was using. It's very spooky.
Nowhere to go. Maybe we'll just keep hopping on mushrooms. This is the way. This game's kind of fun. Don't get it's nice and relaxing, and you don't have to commit to it.
Yeah.
Like you could just hop on and just yourself.
It's a hit.
I don't even know where that mushroom. Fuck me. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I feel like I just haven't gotten the games in to really have a strong opinion off the top of my head. Like, if you can think of anything, then then we'll mix it up.
Yeah, kind of. I think I've hit the board. Yes, I've hit the board. Oh,
yeah, it's not a super big island.
Oh, I'm stuck. Ooh, you'll see this later and be like, "What happened? Oh, I died. Okay, cool. At least the game solved that problem. If you're stuck in a perpetual falling state, you just die."
Yeah.
Good. Oh my god. Yeah, do you want to call it here then? We have a short one. We did a massive one before, so I don't even care if it's short.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think that's not a bad thing. It's kind of a loose.
Yeah, we
casual.
We need a relax after the last one for sure.
Yeah, that one was rough.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought we talked about reinforcement roll, but it's not super deep. It's just
annoying.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I don't want it to go away. I just want to have a little bit more power somehow over it.
Yeah, or for it to be a little more balanced across the factions anyway.
Yeah, that's the other one. Because they can add and remove it. Because you can tell the factions that have it are doing very well. Like Nords and City States have it, and they're doing very
well. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. You want to call it?
All right. Well, yeah.
All right.
Happy fishing.
You wanna advertise on the way out? You get to advertise this time.
Okay, for sure. So here we go. I'm Cassandra. I'm in the BonkTable, and I'm here to tell you about 2 things today. 3 things, actually. One is we have a Discord, and the link will be in the information in this video. Or if you're listening to this on Discord or another audio-based streaming service, go to hell. We don't want you. I'm not telling. If you find it, you didn't find it. Number 2, do you like battle reports? Well, my friend Mass does battle reports, and you can find them on this very same YouTube channel. And so those are a lot of fun to watch, and those will help you get better at Conquest. And again, if you're on one of the audio-only versions of this podcast, go to hell. This content isn't for you. Lastly, we've got the official BonkTable Twitter, operated by me, which is BonkTable Cast. And you can join me there, which, you know what, even if you're only listening to this, it's a text-based format. So I don't know what the rules are, actually, when I think about it, and whether this would be okay, good for you or not. So I'm just going to default to go to hell. So I think that's everything that we have to advertise for tonight. So I'm going to hand it back over to my good friend Mass.
We're gonna have you do these every single time going forward. Just an FYI.
Perfect.
That was so good. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I see where we're going. All right.
That's like, if you could plot a graph of people's reaction to what I'm doing, it would be a line that sounds like the noises you just made there. Like, oh, cool, oh, no.
I'm not gonna lie, for a moment there, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna Cass do all these now. It's like Cass was really surprised by the homework and was like, well, fuck you. You tried to give me homework.
This was the talent that nobody ever expects me to have. Is that I was born to be a pitch woman.
Where are you in this game? I feel like I've lost you.
I'm in that little house. I was trying to think of what to. I always go back before I've exhausted all my bait, and then I get some money, but not enough for any of the upgrades that I need. So instead of saving the money, I just blow it on other stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's a lesson to be learned here, but not by me.
Oh, you have to. Oh, okay. I have to pay $10 increments to increase my camp tier. Here.
Yeah.
Increase your camp tier. You unlocked a new private island property. Okay. Oh, now the next one's like $2,500. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's how they get you.
Yeah. All right. I had no more money. Care less. I punched you into a corner. I don't know how the guitar play. Oh,
the guitar mechanics are nuts. Actually, you're not gonna believe.
Okay, we're exiting that. That's something I do later. I only understand fish and punch.
Yeah, no, people have figured out how to play whole songs on the guitar.
Oh, really? Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Stuff I can sell. All right. Well, I feel like that's it. Have a good one, everybody.
Yep. Good night, everyone.
Bye.